Hello. Pushing from Flow-StateAlchemy, and I'm jumping on again here in day 13 of my 21-day challenge of posting, just to get me into the rhythm and dissolve the challenges, and work through the challenges, and be in the uncomfortable. To expand that comfort zone, that's a big part of growth. Is we sit in comfort and we don't grow. And the more we sit into discomfort and expand our comfort zone, it's not about being always in the uncomfortable. It's about pushing out little by little and expanding our comfort zone, that we navigate into comfort, discomfort, and we expand and can grow in that. And this morning I was in a very scattered place, is the word I would say. I wanted to do a video on Intrusive Thoughts, authenticity, one about my Breathwork program that I'm doing, and workshop, one about the men's program. And I think a feeling right now is just to be authentic, and authentically right now I'm in a little bit of a low place because camera's not working, just on a low day, a low morning. And so I think authenticity is a good theme to speak about this morning in this moment, because I want to be authentic and say I don't have it all worked out. I don't have all the answers. I have tools and techniques to help me navigate these low times and allow me to express authentically. Most of us, I did a lot of time. Personally, for me, I was never authentic when someone actually asks how you are, or how was your morning, or how was you, just genuinely, how are you? That most of the time in the past, even if I was feeling shit, it was just like there wasn't an authentic expression and an exchange of authenticity in the inner world, which takes safety and vulnerability, but authenticity to me has been something to strive towards, and it's a journey. I truly feel that we're learning to be authentic over time, and authenticity has its space and moments, and sometimes that authenticity is just to share how you're feeling in a negative sense, that it's low, and even in that can raise your vibration. Being authentic with yourself, it's matching that inner world with the exterior world. To be, for me personally, I put on a lot of masks to fit in, to keep myself in my head safe from abandonment, from judgment, from abandonment and judgment was the big ones for why I couldn't be authentic. It was like I'd have to please the other, or not make the other feel uncomfortable. And the more authentic we are, the more authenticity that we find within ourselves, it's like a snowball rolling down a hill. Mosquito. Running down a hill, it just gets bigger and bigger, and you find more of your truth within yourself, and authenticity really does take self-reflection, to reflect on, to ask the questions, and not just get lost in the action of the avatar that you want to be, and I think it ties a lot into your nervous system, and we all have a link. I'm sorry, there's a fucking wee mosquito. They're on fire today. But yeah, authenticity takes time. And takes self-reflection, and right now, authentically, I'm judging everything I'm saying in my head because I feel low, because I'm not feeling in a space of clarity. And for me, what I've witnessed on my journey of the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs of life is I went through this, and we can go through this. We know we're in a space of clarity, and things flow easily, and we're so certain about it. It's just a deep knowing, and then to even sometimes in the same day we can fall down into the unknown and be like, oh, is this right? Is this wrong? What am I doing? and all of that is an authentic expression of your inner self, and it's a part of us riding the waves of life. There's no such thing as this perfect life. There's no such thing as perfect in a way. There's imperfectly perfect is the only way I put it. And as I said, I don't have all the answers. Because I'm always learning. I'm always finding new answers. I'm always finding new insight. But before I didn't because I didn't ask questions. I didn't take time in reflection. I didn't take time to slow down. That's been an interesting one to learn was I personally didn't take time for myself. I was just running from the next task to the next task to the next task, making sure that person felt that way, or looked after that person, looked after this person, and was navigating everything for the outside. And I started contemplating, and I moved from meditation to contemplation, and started to integrate, taking 5 minutes multiple times a day to sit and just be and allow space for all, rather than never having that time. And it's like I've never felt I had enough time to do everything. I was trying to do everything and getting lost in the outside, and rather than when I started to slow down and break up my day with just 5 minutes of just sitting and being, sometimes breathing in a certain way, sometimes just breathing in and out, and falling into that conscious breath. Now for me, I've expanded to and evolved to taking 5 to 10 minutes throughout the day, maybe 4 or 5 times, and sometimes more, sometimes just taking 2 minutes to just be in nature and be present. And I thought before I thought I was losing time by taking time for myself, when all you do is you're actually gaining time for you. We live in a world where we give so much time for money and a job and for somebody else's mission and vision that we forget about our own. And I think the strongest vision and mission we can have is to give self-love, to give time and space for you to do the things you need to do for yourself. And there's time for everything else. And we're so good at taking time to help and support, facilitate the other. And for me, that's that practice of contemplating. And contemplating to me is allowing all in the mental to be there, and not trying to find answers. Ask the questions, but don't fall into I need the answer for this. Let go of the expectation of an outcome and just create a curiosity. That's what real curiosity is wanting to know but not having to know, and taking that time in contemplation and taking that time to myself. And sometimes that time is to just reflect on how beautiful the world is, how shit I feel, and just sit with that and not getting lost in doing, and come into a space of being. We've forgotten as humans how to be, just be present, just to be with whatever it is, the good and the bad, the blissful and the pain. And we occupy everything. Scrolling, one of the biggest ones to date. Today is the scrolling on a social media, and it was where I had such a inner battle with doing videos, and because I created such a good relationship with social media, I didn't have to go on to fill a gap of time or to distract myself from what I was feeling. I developed the strength and courage to sit with the negative and the positive and understand they're just the same polarity. They're on the same existence, just that they're two extremities. They're one end of either polarity. And the more the more I sit into these spaces and being able to create an okayness in the not okay, and being grateful for it, and then being grateful for the bliss and joy and has allowed me and facilitated this authentic expression to come up more and more. That I can speak about my inner world, and not in a victim way, but in a way of, it is what it is, and right now that's how I'm feeling, and that's okay too. I think I feel a lot of not being okay with not being okay comes from being a child and our parents not being able to handle and navigate the inner world of a child, because they never dove into their own inner world. So it's like, no, don't feel that, no you don't, and try to make the child always feel good and good and good, rather than helping and allowing the child understand that negative is a part of life. There's no positive without the negative. So for me, it was relearning that as an authentic expression. Authentically, I'm going to be feeling low. Authentically, I'm going to be feeling high. And the more I understand it in myself, the more I can communicate, and not in a victim sense, but in a sense of, this too shall pass and is where I am, and I don't need to be fixed. And then I can open up a space for two people that are a group of people to talk authentically about their inner worlds. So this is me without a plan this morning, and trying to do a video, and the SD card wouldn't work, and just finding flow is for me is meeting resistance and understanding, well, maybe this isn't what I need to do right now. Where can I go? Because there's so much we can do. Life is full of so many opportunities. It fucking overwhelms us, But yeah, I want to express how important it is to take time to self. And even if it's a simple, if you break it down, 5 minutes, 5 times a day is 25 minutes to give to yourself, to just say, okay, how am I feeling? What am I feeling? Accept it. Be grateful for it. For me, it's never a universal thing. It's never this one way. It's right. I take space, and in that space, let's show up what needs to be shown up, because we're different in every moment. We have the opportunity to express and be whatever we want to be. It's the limiting the beliefs, the prior judgments, and the things we hold on to us bring us back to being the same person we don't want to be. And life is a roller coaster, full of the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows, and as I said, 25 minutes to take to yourself, to give yourself. That's what self-love is to me. It's one of the elements of self-love. Self-love is so deep, so vast. There's so many things you can do to love yourself. Nurture yourself with good food, move your body, enjoy music, dance with people, art. All acts of self-love. It's also the deepest form, is to give yourself space to be you in whatever shape and form you are in that moment. and I create a state of okayness and acceptance for the low and the high, and find balance over time, and bring that. I had such a polarity in the distance between the negative and the positive, upside around, the positive and the negative, whatever, either way, the yin and the yang. I had such a distance in it that it was like such a ride going up and down, and I was so deep in the low and so high in the high. And now through taking time and space for myself, slowly I've brought them that waveform, or that distance between what is negative and what is positive closer, and I can sit into them easier. And sometimes I struggle with it, and that's okay too. It's like life is struggling, like learning something new. This whole process of putting videos up and even speaking in front of a camera and editing has been a struggle. But we must struggle to get to something good. Some things flow really easily, but the same thing mightn't flow really easily 2 days later. I've done videos and it's flowing out me and easily got the editing done, and then other days it's just like, it is what it is. So yeah, that's a little broad video on many little elements to talk about in there, but that's where I'm at right now. That's authentically where I'm at. It's like I don't have a pinpoint focus. I tried to pinpoint focus a video on breathwork and my workshop, and it just didn't flow. So I was like, fuck it, let's just talk about how I'm feeling. And in the last day or two, things have not been working out for me. In the last 2 or 3 days with the vlog, creating content, and rather than forcing it and pushing it, I'm just flowing with it and going slow and allowing space for all that shit inside of me to be. Should I be doing a vlog? Is this the way forward for me? Is this the route that I can? Is this actually meant for me? We question a lot about that in life. I did, and that comes back to inner trust and trusting your intuition and feeling into your fucking mosquitoes are so bad today. But yeah, trust yourself, guys. Take space for yourself. Take 25 minutes in increments throughout the day to just be with yourself, whether it's negative or positive. Don't attach to it. I might finish with this. Intrusive thoughts. There's something that really I struggled with for so long in my life, was intrusive thoughts. They were fucking scary. They made me question who the fuck I was. They made me wonder, because I know I there's an inning wanting to be kind. I'm wanting to see good in the world. I'm wanting to not hurt. But then these thoughts come in, and they were so dangerous and so hurtful towards others and myself, whether they went from the spectrum of suicidal thoughts all the way to the darkness of hurting others. And it's like, no one spoke to me about them. I didn't have the capability to ask, what the fuck is this? Why do I have these thoughts? And the more I created space for them and started creating love for them, that them dark, crazy thoughts come in, instead of getting lost in fear and confusion, realizing that's just a part of trauma, a part of, everything that has happened in the past is in us. The whole consciousness is within you. You are a universe in this universe. Oh, mosquitoes, you're really fucking at it today. So a little side note on intrusive thoughts. If you want me to go deeper in this, if anyone wants to talk about me to go deeper into my experience with them and how I've navigated with them, just simply was taking space and allowing them when they show up, rather than jumping to fear and jumping to, what the fuck am I? Showing love for that, and compassion, and okayness. It's okay to have these thoughts. I'm not going to. They're not who I am. You are not your thoughts. Thoughts, they come in, they come out. Thinking you have will over. Become the spectator of that inner world. Spectate yourself. And that's a part of taking space for yourself, is to sit in observation and not want to change and not want to. Sorry, just a big bird flying above my head. Yeah, it's about. For me, it's been a lot of allowing, accepting, and embracing, and then allowing, transform, transmute. The more I've done that, the more my thoughts have come more in alignment with the morals and values and who I actually am, and the authentic expression of what I am. So I hope this is insightful for you. If you've joined, thank you for watching. Hold on, we've got my friend coming in on her bike. So yeah, just an authentic video about where I'm at, some little side topics. If there's anything you'd want me to do a full video on, or reach out and have a conversation about, just drop a comment and we can make it happen. Lots of love, lots of gratitude. Oisin from Flow-StateAlchemy.